So St. Petersburg, Florida is a beautiful area surrounded by water, and there are a lot of good things about St. Petersburg. But there are some things about St. Pete that you're not really going to like. So we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're going to do it right now. What's up everyone, Sean McManaman here at the Vomero McManaman Group. We do videos each week about living in Tampa Bay, living in Florida, and real estate. So if this is your first time to our channel, hit that subscribe button and tap on that little bell. You'll be notified each time when we make a new video. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to show you where St. Petersburg is on a map in relation to Tampa and the other cities in the Tampa Bay area. So let's bring up the map. Okay, as you can see, St. Petersburg is directly across Tampa Bay from Tampa. It's probably about 30 to 45 minutes depending on what causeway you take across to Tampa, but it's a beautiful drive across Tampa Bay. And it's the southernmost tip of Pinellas County. So you're about, 20 to 30 minutes away from Clearwater, Palm Harbor, all the way up to Tarpon Springs. So it's in a good location. It's surrounded by water. You have the beach on the west and you have the bay on the east. It is a beautiful location and it is a great location in the Tampa Bay area. Okay, so the first pro about living in St. Petersburg is the weather. Our weather here is beautiful year-round. You can do activities outside year-round here. You don't have to worry about winter because our winter is really not winter as you probably know it. We don't get temperatures that are really cold. In our winter we have days in the 60s and 70s, sometimes low 60s, rarely in the 50s. At night it's going to be in the 50s, sometimes 40s, rarely 30s, and almost never below freezing. Because where St. Petersburg is located, it's between Tampa Bay and the beach, so surrounded by water. So there's always going to be the warm breeze off of the water. So you really don't have to worry about winter. You never get snow. I've lived here my whole life, and I think we had snow when I was like 6 years old. So you really don't have to worry about that. You can do things year-round. So the weather is beautiful pretty much year-round in St. Petersburg. Okay, so the first con is going to be weather. Also weather. So yes, I said that weather is beautiful, but there is a little bit of a downside to our weather. And that is, in the summer, it's hot. And I mean really hot. So we don't get temperature hot. So you won't see temperatures in the hundreds or 97 or something like that. We're usually in the low 90s. But the problem is we get humidity. Our humidity is very high. So our feels like temperature in the summer is going to be in the hundreds. I mean, some days we get up to 110, the heat index. So you got to be careful about that. But we don't get temperature hot so much. And we have to dodge storms. Okay, in the summer, we get our daily thunderstorms. Sometimes we'll get a hurricane. Now, in the St. Petersburg area, it's very difficult for hurricanes to hit us directly. I've lived here my whole life, and we have not had a direct hit in my lifetime. We've had some close calls. The hurricanes usually come across the Atlantic, and they're weaker when they get to us, or they come up through the middle of the state. But for a hurricane to hit us directly, it has to come up through the Gulf and make a right turn. And it doesn't happen often. Now, we are in the lightning capital of the world. So with those thunderstorms, you get a bunch of lightning. You get a ton of lightning. So you got to be careful when you're outside. You may think that, hey, I don't see any clouds or I don't feel any rain, but I hear some thunder. Lightning is very dangerous in our area. So you got to be careful of that. Like I said, we will get heavy thunderstorms in the summer, but that is the con as far as weather goes. So the next pro is going to be our outdoor activities. So like I said in the weather section, We don't really have a lot of restrictions on outdoor activities. You got to dodge the heat, you got to dodge a little bit of rain, but you don't have to worry about winter. You don't have to plan around cold. So we have numerous activities that you can do outdoors. We have golf courses in the St. Petersburg area, and we have a ton of them. We really have a lot of golf courses. Most of them are in very good shape, and they're beautiful. We have fishing. You can do saltwater fishing. You can do freshwater fishing. We have hunting, if that's your thing. We do tennis everywhere. I mean, there's people playing tennis everywhere. And we have many rec leagues. You know, if you want to get into a league and play softball, basketball, soccer, they're there, and you can find them. And again, you can do this year round. We obviously are surrounded by water, so we have water activities. We have boating, swimming, paddleboarding, jet skiing, a little bit of surfing, because on the Gulf the waves aren't really that big, but you can surf. But we have so many outdoor activities. You can go swimming in the Gulf. The water temperature is warm. I mean, we are able to go into the Gulf most of the year. I mean, in the winter it gets a little cool, although if you are from up north, you probably come down here and you're like, oh, this water's not really that cold. But for us Floridians, if it gets below 85, then we think it's a little cool. But there are a ton of outdoor activities, and that just makes it a positive to live in St. Petersburg. Okay, so for the next con, I'm going to go back to weather related. And we really don't get, since we're tropical, we really don't get a change of seasons. In fact, we don't get a change of seasons. We basically have green all year round. We have a little bit of browning, but we don't have like the foliage that you get up north. We don't get that. I mean, our palm trees are green all year round. So we don't have the change of seasons. We don't have the winter that you're probably used to. During the holiday season, I've heard comments from people from up north that it just doesn't feel like it here because we can be in the 70s. I mean, sometimes we're even in the 80s. I think last Thanksgiving it was in the 80s. So it can be anywhere from the 80s all the way down to the 50s during the day, some very rarely the 50s. So we just don't have the change of seasons. So if you're coming from up north, you got to get used to the fact that you're tropical all year round. So the next pro is my favorite, and that is the beaches. The beaches here are gorgeous. I mean, we probably have the best beaches in the world, I think. And we have white, powdery sand, and we have the warm water, and it is just gorgeous. If you know, St. Pete Beach is beautiful. You go down to from downtown St. Pete, it's not even a long drive at all. You're 10 minutes. Anywhere in St. Pete, you're probably about 10 minutes from the beach. But when you go, up the coast on the beaches from St. Pete all the way up north into Pasco County are beautiful. And you go out and watch a sunset. You can stay the whole day on the beach. It really is a gorgeous location. I'm showing you as I'm talking some of the views of the beach, and people obviously they come down here. Tourists come down here for the beaches, and during the winter, it is gorgeous because the temperatures are still in the 70s, and you got people mass migrating from up north, and they love to come down and be on the beach. Like I said, you really can't surf in the water, but I see a lot of people doing paddle boarding and things like that in the water. But it is a gorgeous location, and I hope you're enjoying the scenes right now. But St. Petersburg Beach is beautiful. So the next con is something I say in all my videos, and it is traffic. Our traffic here is quite heavy. And in the winter, you really have some massive traffic jams because you got everybody coming down here. Nobody wants to be up north in the snow. And you get a mass migration down here, and the traffic is just congested. So you got to plan around that. If you want to go anywhere, you got to allow for time for traffic. And especially in the winter, when you have all the tourists here, you have the snowbirds, there is a lot of traffic. You've got to plan. If you want to go out to a restaurant, you just better be prepared that you're going to be waiting every night. Doesn't matter what night it is. But we do have a lot of traffic. We don't have a great mass transit system. I'll go over that in another part of the video. But traffic is a major con for the area. The next pro is going to be the nightlife and the culture in the downtown St. Petersburg area. There is a ton of things to do, and it's beautiful. You can walk right along Bayshore Boulevard. You've got restaurants and bars right on the water there. You even got some rooftop restaurants that are beautiful, with a beautiful view of Tampa Bay and even downtown Tampa. You have the brand new St. Petersburg Pier, which was just built. I'm going to try to get some pictures in on that. That's a beautiful location. You can walk out to the pier. There's going to be restaurants and shops, but there's literally a ton of things to do right along Bayshore Boulevard. The restaurants are very good. Right now we're in the pandemic, so the traffic there is a little less people walking down there, but there's always things going on in downtown St. Petersburg. We have the Trop, which is where the Tampa Bay Rays play. That's right in downtown St. Pete. So there's a lot of things to do. As far as culture goes, there's a lot of museums. You have the St. Petersburg Fine Arts Museum, the Salvador Dali Museum, the Florida Holocaust Museum, and the Imagine Museum. There are a lot of museums and culture to do down in St. Petersburg area. And with the location of downtown St. Petersburg, you're not just limited to doing things in downtown St. Pete. Like I said, you're only a 30-minute drive from downtown Tampa. You are close to the beaches. You can drive north, Clearwater. There's so many things to do there too. So just the downtown St. Petersburg area, there's a lot to do, but there is also a lot to do in the Tampa Bay area. The next con is going to be that traffic related. I kind of mentioned it before, and that is the fact that in St. Pete and in the Tampa Bay area, we don't have a mass transit system. We don't have subway, we don't have a railway or anything like that. Now they do have a ferry that you can take to go over to downtown Tampa, but that doesn't run all the time. So there's really not a mass transit system here. I wish there was, and I know there are plans for it. It would be nice to have maybe a rail or a subway over to Tampa or even north to Clearwater or some of the other cities, but that is a con for the Tampa Bay area and St. Petersburg. So one of my favorite pros is the fact that we have a good amount of pro sports in our area. So downtown St. Petersburg, you have the Tampa Bay Rays at the Trop, and that is right in the middle of downtown St. Pete. It's where they play. They're a successful franchise, and they have been for many years. And you also have the soccer team, the Rowdies, that's also in downtown St. Petersburg. So you can go either to a Rays game or a Rowdies game, but from downtown St. Petersburg, you have other teams. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers across the bay in Tampa, which obviously I've said before is only about a 30-minute drive. You have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the hockey team. And at the time of this taping, we have some successful franchises in that the Tampa Bay Lightning just made the Stanley Cup Finals. We'll see what happens with that. We have the Rays that just made the playoffs in baseball. So we're pretty good in our area with the pro sports. Also, we have spring training. If you come down in the winter, we have spring training teams all around. We have the Phillies in Clearwater, the Blue Jays in Dunedin, the Yankees in Tampa. So there are quite a few. And even from downtown St. Pete, you can go down to Bradenton. I think the Pirates are down there. So there's quite a bit of sports franchises in the area. And during the regular baseball season, we have minor league baseball with the Threshers in Clearwater and the Blue Jays in Dunedin. So a lot to do as far as sports goes. Okay, the next pro is a big one. It's big for all of Florida, St. Pete, and the Tampa Bay area, and that is the fact that we do not have a state income tax. Our state income tax rate is 0. That's why a lot of people are moving down to Florida from other states where there's higher taxes. You may have a state tax or you may have a local tax. Here in St. Petersburg and all Florida, we don't have that. We don't have state income tax. It's very affordable to live here. St. Petersburg is definitely one of the more affordable areas in the Tampa Bay area, but the fact that you pay 0 in state income tax is huge. So St. Pete, as you see, has a lot of good things, and it does have some drawbacks, but overall, I think The city of St. Pete is a beautiful area. You would love to live here. You'd love to, with all the things to do. There are going to be some other videos flashing up here on the screen. Take a look at those. Those kind of go over what's going on in the Tampa Bay area. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me. I'm a realtor in the area. I can help you find housing, whether you're purchasing or renting. My contact information is on the screen. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. I hope you and your family are staying healthy. Thank you very much.